packages on cruise ships can cost you $100 a day per person, and if one person in the cabin gets the drink package, then of course everybody needs to get, both people need to get it, so that you're not just sharing your drinks with everyone. But so the drink package is worth it. It's worth $1,000 on a 9-day trip, so per person. That's a lot. Credits for ground excursions, you get up to $50 per person per port on the ships, and that could take care of some incidentals, or at least partial payment for the excursions that you may want to do. Package for specialized dining in restaurants, that's really cool too, because they do have some fantastic restaurants on these ships, like Cagney Steakhouse, or the Brazilian Steakhouse, or Le Bistro French restaurant, or Teppanyaki, fantastic meals. And so if you want to do a special dining for birthday, or just romantic getaway with just mom and dad, or you just want to step it up just a little bit, the food is fantastic everywhere else, but this is a great opportunity to try out some of their specialized restaurants. Wi-Fi package, 250 minutes. I know we're supposed to disconnect to reconnect. That's what I'm shouting all the time about taking vacations, but sometimes we have to be connected. Just like Grant talks about on his interview, he owns several businesses, so the agreement is he's got to be able to connect at least once a day. So for 200, you get 250 minutes, and that can be sufficient for you to make that contact while you're on the trip. Friends and families travel with reduced rates on certain cruises. So that means if you have a third and fourth passenger in your room, a child, grandma, those passengers can travel sometimes for free, or just for paying taxes to travel on the ship. So those are some fantastic. That's a fantastic promotion. It's been extended. If you're looking at doing any cruising, go ahead and do a $50 deposit. That's another thing that they're offering right now, is a $50 deposit, and you can go ahead and book your trip. And if something happens and you need to change it, you have the ability to do that. So those are our offers for the week. I hope you decide to get away and go do something. Well, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I get back, we're going to talk about travel trends. I've got the top 10 LGBTQ destinations and lots more. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. I'll be back in a minute.
If you like the sound of vacationing at a 5-star luxury included resort, Sandals has a symphony of romantic indulgences just for you. Sandals hits all the right notes for two people in love. Miles of pristine beaches harmonize with beautiful turquoise seas. Love Nest suites are orchestrated with private plunge pools and tranquility soaking tubs for two. The tempo increases with unlimited land and water sports, including scuba diving and golf. Your taste buds are treated to a rhapsody of 5-star global gourmet dining at up to 16 world-class restaurants, including endless pours of premium spirits and wine, music to anyone's ears. From live entertainment to taxes, tips, and transfers, it's all included, all unlimited, and only at Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts, voted world's best 21 years in a row.
To book your Sandals vacations, contact Peaks Cruises and Tours at peakscruisestours.com. Welcome back. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. So it's Pride Month. What does that mean? That means that we are giving respect to our LGBTQ community out there. What's up, folks? And why, you say, is that important? I read the best post on Facebook from a friend of mine regarding Pride Month. And, there are people out there that are hating. But the thing is, if everyone is getting the love and the respect that are due them as human beings, regardless of their lifestyle or their beliefs, their religion, their love for another person, whether it be male or female, if we're all giving each other respect, then we don't need Pride Month. So I'm just going to leave it with that. That may be controversial, but that's what I believe. Anyway, so LGBTQ top 10 destinations. Number 1 is Montreal, Canada. Montreal hosts one of the largest pride events in the world. Did you know that? I think that's pretty cool. The next one is Brno, Czech Republic. So Prague, everybody knows about Prague, and it's been really hot for years. But the gay travelers are now discovering the second largest city and this beautiful little countryside village called Brno, Czech Republic. So if you're interested in Europe, Prague was my favorite city in Europe so far. So I would highly recommend, if you get a chance, to visit the Czech Republic. It's just beautiful with the castles, and the people are amazing, the food is amazing, so on and so forth. Myanmar is the next one on the list. Now, some may say laws in Asia are not very LGBTQ friendly, and that is true. But more queer visitors are starting to explore the country's cities and religious sites. And they've actually said that the citizens there have become more accepting and are welcoming tourists into the area. So, sometimes it's not so much the people, but the government. And that's why we've got to get the government out of people's lives like that. New York City, of course. New York City would be on this list. Has always been a queer traveler's hotspot. But this year in 2009, because they're hosting the World Pride Day, and it's recognizing the 50th anniversary of Stonewall, New York is the place you want to go this year. Cape Town, South Africa. I was really surprised about this. So South Africa's famed mother city is probably the gayest, most progressive city on the entire continent. A lot of queer European travelers have been going to the city's beaches. There's the wine region, glorious hotels, beautiful, beautiful beauty, of course. And now more North Americans are starting to catch on and see what's going on in South Africa. I think that's fabulous. Go South Africa. Thailand. Queer travelers have always been welcomed for many, many years to Thailand, and it's inexpensive to get around and explore. Thailand's on a lot of people's bucket list, whether you're gay or straight, and I think the fact that they have always kind of embraced the gay community makes it even more exotic and wonderful. So head on over to Thailand. If that's where you've always dreamt of going, now is the time to get there, because before it starts changing. Some of these places we've got to go before they change and become more expensive and get too commercialized, if that makes sense. At least that's my perspective. Some people like it commercial, but I don't. Chicago, Illinois. Hey, what's up, Chicago? Hometown. So Chicago, of course, has Hollywood Beach, which is called the Gay Beach in Edgewater. And it has great food. Chicago, period, has great food. But this particular area has great cuisine, important architecture, a really friendly vibe, and impressive lodging for you to be able to stay at. Here's a new one. Sitges, Spain. So everybody knows about Barcelona, but there's a new queer destination in town, is what Spain is saying, with idyllic beaches. It's located about 25 miles southwest of Catalan, and It's an artistic hangout, so the LGBTQ travelers will enjoy thriving nightlife and have super upbeat fun. This one, excuse me, this one surprised me when I found out about it a couple of years ago. Tel Aviv, Israel. You wouldn't think, with it being such a religious country, that they would be so embracing, but queer visitors consider this the urban Mecca, and they go back year after year for all the fun and gay-friendly activities that go on. The great beaches, sunny weather. People describe this as the second largest city in Israel, as the gayest city on the planet. Yeah, the planet. So Tel Aviv has great museums, interesting architecture, hip and fun restaurants, and plenty of clubs. And last for this week on this list is Washington, D.C. Very vibrant queer community here, even though it's a political town. Once again, we've got to step outside the big bubble that we see on the news about what's going on in some of these destinations, and note that there is a vibe in a community that is very welcoming to everyone. So there's a lot of partying going on, of course, cultural wealth that you can't, the museums, and lots of parties and things going on at night. And in saying that, even with this list, we have to also remember that there are situations where we have to be careful. So some of these countries, although they're LGBTQ friendly, because of religious and political beliefs, sometimes public display of affection is not encouraged. So you may want to do your due diligence before you travel and make sure that you're going to be safe. So what else is happening in travel trends this week? How would you like to know how to not overpack for your cruise? That's always a big deal for me. And I actually did a pretty good job this last trip. We were gone 22 days, and I used almost every piece of my clothing. I think there was one or two things that I did not use. And so that's always the struggle, is trying to figure out what you need to take and how you pare it down. So thanks to our friends over at Cruise Critic, they have some tried and true secrets to avoid overpacking. So suggestions: pick a palette. That's right. Pick a theme, pick a certain color, mix and match your clothing within those shades. And I actually did that this time. I wore a lot of black, I will tell you, but I was able to mix and match some things because everything was the same color. And where it helped a lot was cutting down on my shoe selection, because I didn't have to have certain shoes to go with certain outfits, because a lot of the stuff I wore was black. So other than having hiking boots, a pair of dress shoes, and then some shoes that I could just wear on the ship when we were at sea on a daily basis, and of course my workout shoes. I take my workout shoes every time. I didn't work out 23 days, but I did work out some. The next one would be go to if by sea. So the rule of twos can help you plan the perfect wardrobe. Pick 2 outfits, one for day, one for night, for each day you travel, as well as workout clothes, bathing suits, and PJs for every 2 days. Then cut the total amount in half. So remember, no one is going to notice whether you wear the same shirt twice. I disagree with that, but I guess I shouldn't care if they notice. Because sometimes, if you've got a big personality, if you draw a lot of attention to yourself, or you're just someone that everybody wants to be friends with, and I'm not saying I'm that person, but people tend to recognize what you're wearing. But I guess they would not necessarily come up to you and say, Karen, you're wearing the same shirt. I saw you in that shirt 3 days ago, or you wore the same dress. So I should just stop caring. So I'm going to do that next time. Layer up. If you're heading to a chilly climate, which we did, you can wear the same upper layer repeatedly while only changing the lighter layer close to the skin. So bring more lighter layers to do laundry. Wear the heaviest outer layer or hoodie or a